factory.
Well, hello everybody. Thanks for stopping by. It's a bonus midday stream. As you probably read in the Discord announcement, I feel pretty bad that I'm not able to do the unusual Thursday at midnight Zulu stream and then Saturday morning stream. I've just had a couple things, kind of summertime things come up. Nothing serious, but I've got a meeting tonight that I have to go to, and then I've got fundraiser. Steve, hello. Fundraiser barbecue, or not barbecue, golf tournament on Saturday that I got signed up for, I guess. So those are the things that are going to be in the way. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I've got a little time during the day today, and I'm thinking maybe even tomorrow I'm going to be having some time. So maybe I can squeeze in a little messing around. I want to say welcome to Rock Valkyrie and Skull, my friend. And Skydive Rob is here as well. Indeed, the shifting of the balance of Robs. It's always good to have at least two Robs in your stream, I've found. There will be more. I'm almost certain there will be more. And then Steve PHL, hello. We are up in Alaska, so here's where we are, guys. Port Allsworth. Whoops, one route that doesn't work. Papa Alpha Kilo X-ray, and this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm hoping to do. First of all, I like flying around up here. It's kind of a cool area. We've got a little bit of bad weather, kind of right where I'm at right now in Port Allsworth. There is some stuff here and there, but here by the Ilyamna airfield, there on the map, on the Microsoft Flight Sim map, there's supposed to be grizzly bears around here. So we're going to see if we can fly low around the coastline, see if we can see the grizzly bears. And I don't know. Then we...
I did play some of it.
JPC, hello, Mike. I sort of did. Actually, I got very, very lucky. I won this on Two-Tone Murphy's stream that he did the other day. So very, very lucky. But yeah, it was destined for my hangar either way. This was certainly a nice little treat, though. uh, yeah, JPC probably has it on his phone because that's what those JetBlue pilots do, right, Rob? No, 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 no. Yeah, I'm sure he's in the. Yep, I was gonna say he's probably in the pilot's room waiting to one way or another. It's kind of funny. Like I'm trying to remember. Oh, geez, one of the real life 737 pilots will pop in every once in a while to. I don't know if it's Slant Alpha Stream. I can't remember Slant Alpha Stream or Sim Caesar Stream, and he just stops in to say hey, and he's like waiting on the waiting on something. He's like literally in the cockpit and they're just about ready to start the, walk around or something, but he'll pop in and say, hey, just want to say hello from the real flight deck. And it's like, holy crap, that's awesome. um, they had you fly to Newark down to Palm Beach and now you're headed back to JFK and then you're gonna get a limo. I see. I see. Yeah. Well, yep. Oh yeah, it's off skid. That's right. You off skid descent. Yeah, I think it's usually in either, like I said, in Rob's stream, Slant Alpha, or over in Sim Caesars. But it's pretty dang cool whenever he does that. So anyway, we're looking for grizzly bears right here around Iliamna, and then we're gonna pop over the top to McNeil Cove. There's supposed to be some seagulls over here. I don't. I've yet to really see or look for that matter, like the real life animals in Microsoft Flight Sim. So I thought we'd try to find those. Then we'll pop over here to uh, Nanwalek, just because it's one of the airfields that has a little bit of work that's been done to it. So I'm interested to see what that looks like. And then we'll kind of go from there. This should only take us an hour or so, and we'll just see. We're right here at Kodiak Island, is down to the south. Seward is up here, and Homer and all that. We could even head up towards Talkeetna, and I mean we've got this. Of course, is just you guys. We've played around up here many times. So yeah, we could come up do some glacier running here. Whatever you guys feel like doing. We're just going to enjoy. I'm sure by now seen many really excellent reviews and streams, and I'm not going to provide you with like an in-depth look here. I'm just going to have fun. Hey, Planet Neutral, what's going on? You put a pic in a cup of coffee. Oh, hey, let me check it out here. Let me check. Oh yeah, baby. There we go. There it is, right there. JPC, coolest, most exclusive restaurant in town, right there. Grabbing himself a little lunch at the flight deck. Nice. That looks good. Little, can't tell. Is that you're being healthy? That's like some salad and stuff. That's good. There's a little avocado there. Very nice. Well done, sir. Let's take a look at that. How about the texture work on that bad boy? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Little wear and tear on the edges here. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Probably some finger smudges and stuff on the McDo. Very good. Everything is kind of in a powered up state to an extent. All right. Uh-oh. Hey. He's got the QNH here, but like, is it updated here? I don't know if it is, you guys. Like, set once, set twice, set three. I don't know. JPC. No, I'm just kidding. That's awesome, dude. What a cool picture. That's awesome. Holy cow. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to slide over here. The left-hand seat. Uh-oh. I need to do some upholstery work here. That's starting to come apart. Yep. PBI. There you are. Very nice. So you guys, do you have a lot of people, like when you're pulling up, you got a lot of people like me that are sitting there googly-eyed, waving at you and all that good stuff? I always try to get the pilots to wave at me, and it doesn't very rarely happen, but that's okay. All right, enough messing around here. Let's get flying. So yeah, if you want to load in, again, we are here at Wilder Airport at Port Allsworth. I'm not connected to that sim yet, so I better do that. And probably should pull up a checklist. You guys will be proud of me. I have followed my checklist and done some additional things I don't normally do, like a walkthrough and all that fun stuff. There we go. I'm connected. So yeah, you should be proud of me. Now this airstrip at Port Allsworth is very default. Nothing really going on. So, but we're just close to where the bears are supposed to be. So that's that's why we're here and why we're headed where we're headed. So, all right, I got to get this. Sorry, I got to get this resized here. I'm all messed up now. JPC and his lunch has me all sorts of discombobulated. Had a kid come up, hang out for us with you for a bit at Newark. That's awesome. Yeah, man. I can still remember back in the day, like when I was the junior first officer's age, like they would still invite you into the flight deck. You could sit on their lap and one of the coolest things was they handed out on Western Airlines. They handed out these swizzle sticks. You probably remember the W with the long tail that they used to have as their livery. Well, they had those as plastic swizzle sticks. Man, I collected a bunch of those for the life of me. Who knows where they are now? Riptide, what's going on? Oh, man. So anyway, wow. Yeah, weather looks about right for Alaska. Skydive Rob, you're 100% correct. Kenseth, hello. It looks you funny when you ask to sit on a lap. Yeah, me too. Shoot, I don't know. Back in the day, the pilots were probably up there having a cigarette or something, Come on up, kid. Yeah, it was fun. Those were the days. Those were the days. All right, so I've been messing around, by the way. I'm not going to use the TDS. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to. I kind of actually prefer the no GPS option here. I know that's gonna you think I'm crazy, and I haven't done any of the like you can adjust and put some of these fairings on and some just to kind of help the overall I think it's aerodynamic qualities. These are all just filling in little gaps and stuff where you can have extra drag. I'm not really messed with that either. I have almost 3 hours in this particular guy, and I'm curious because last time I flew, I had a bunch of like my cylinder head temps got really, really cold, and I think I was getting some carb icing, but I managed to salvage it, and yeah, it was crazy though. But we just need to do the walk around and get this thing going. Oh, you know what I need to do? Hold on. First thing I'm wanting to do is this. I want to go ahead and come down here, and I want to turn the master switch on and all of the lights here, and then we'll do our walk around. So I'm just making sure all the lights are working. Those shouldn't be moving like that. That's maybe a problem. I think they're supposed to be more rigid. I've yet to come up with a failure. So, do I not have position lights on? I thought I had position lights on. Yeah, that light's working good. Or those would be the nav lights. I'm sorry, not the yeah, that side's working as well. Yeah. And the rotating beacon is rotating. All right, very good. All right. Turn those guys back off. Now we can do the regular walk around here, and we can check. Maybe you have. Yeah, that kind of. Oh, I know why that's moving. I took the control locks off. That's why. So that's okay. All right, and we should have nothing really in the tip tanks. That is correct. We can sump it here a little bit. Nice and blue. We checked those already. Tie down off. Whoops. And we should have a little bit of fuel in here. Yep. Nice and blue there as well. Once I fly this a little bit, I'm going to go and you can change the options here, and you can like I have a brand new plane right now, and I think I'm gonna go get one at auction and see what kind of problems it has and kind of work on that. But I just wanted to get used to it first. All right, this one here, by the way, the central fuel sump. I'm doing something wrong here, I think, JPC, because I'm not getting anything. Do you know what I'm doing here? I'm not able to get any fuel out. Is there an additional sort of click spot in here that I'm missing? Or am I just not? Because there should be, I thought there should be some in there. Okay, that's all looking good. Gosh dang it. Oil. Hello, Eric. Nice to see you, sir. This is tough to see. But it should be, yeah, you can, I don't know how well you can see that, but I just topped it off the other day. Yeah, so Eric, you would know. You would be a great resource here. Let me go back to the central fuel sump and tell me what I'm missing here. Let me go back to that. So I'm assuming I'm pretty well fully fueled. I am not, there's nothing coming out of here. So what? Oh, that, you have to have the fuel pump on for that. Okay, okay. Okay, fuel valve needs to be open. Ah. Okay, well, we'll finish up the walk around here and this should have nice blue fuel in it as well. Yes. It's a very bad thing if you don't put that back on, and I am anticipating that's going to happen to me sometime soon. Chocks, tie down, cover. We checked that already. Shouldn't have anything out here. Nope, that's nice and empty. I think there might be 2 gallons or 3 gallons or something of just reserve out there. But I love the chipped. Love the chipped part there. This we can sump nice and blue, no water. And you really just pour it out like that? Just pour it on the ground? Sounds are great, Eric. No doubt about it. That's no blockage there. Final tie down. That's fine. I'm not going to put any baggage in. I think there's some like, you know what? Let's put a one thing in there just for actually, you know what? We're in Alaska, man. We might need some gear. Yeah, what the heck? We'll load it up. We'll load it up, baby. There you go. We're in. We are in. Let's put let's put. Yeah, we're going on a bear hunt, so we're taking four people there. Gotta pack the beers. That's right. Did I wiggle the flap? I did, and they were loose because I have the tie down or the control locks. I have them off, so they were loose. Um, I don't think they change baggage status. So I just want to, I don't want to belabor this point, but I just want to go back out to where were we for that central sump? Nope, that wasn't it. That's not it. This guy, no. This guy here. Okay, I just want to see. Aha! Nice and blue. All right. Very cool. Thank you for the knowledge there. I'm sure that you're gonna Dr. Pepper. That's right. No beer. That's right. Actually, I've been drinking Diet Pepsi here lately because I'm trying to cut back on the Dr. Pepper. So the Diet Pepsi is kind of like my transition soda to wean myself off of so much soda. Okay, there we go. Our CG is a bit aft, but not bad. I think we'll be just fine there. It's a classic not a bug feature thing. Yep. I knew it was something I wasn't doing right, but you just never know till you know. All right, so there you go. There's our pre-flight control locks. Our remove parking brake is set. The gear switch is down, and that's confirmed on my Bravo. All my lights or all my switches are off. All of the breakers, it's again really hard to see because it's dark, but those are all in. And we're ready to get going here. Master switch coming on, rotating beacons coming on. I've opened up the fuels to do the fueling. We're getting a little fog, which happens when you sit inside and breathe. I love that. I love that. Pull the breakers. Yeah. So you know what? Yep. See the white ring. I've had one pop on me already, Eric. And then I've been messing around. I had some trouble with the GTN 750, so I've been messing around with the avionics breakers. But yeah, it's for those of you that have never seen that, like you definitely can see what's going on. So like there's no question when a breaker pops. Yeah, it was. I lost my. What did I lose? It was. It was. It might have been a. It might have been a radio. It might have been a radio. Because I lost my comm. So yeah, that would have been my radio. One of my radio buses popped. So it was kind of cool. Your plane's been too kind. Yeah, it's not as hard probably to break as you think, but it also is in some ways harder to break than you think. I don't know. You just got to treat it kindly, and I'm learning about how to listen to the engine, and I'm starting to pick up. I've flown this for about 3 hours, and I've flown another livery for about 3 hours, so I don't have a ton of time, but I'm starting to hear little. I'm starting to hear things knock and pop and not be happy, and so I'm sort of starting to figure that out a little bit. All right. I love, by the way, that the mixture is here on the left, the throttle's in the middle, and the prop lever is on the right. That's just awesome. I love that. All right, we're going to go fuel pump on. We're going to look for the fuel pressure to rise here. Takes a minute, but it does get there. There she comes. Okay, that's very important that we can do that. We're going to unlock the primer. We're going to give it about 3 or 4 tugs. It's chilly up here, so I think you can go up to 5, but that should be okay. Clear prop. There she goes. Oh, I'm gonna blow my door shut. That locked. Close that up. Let's get some, we'll get some, like some, little bit of air going here. A little heat. Defroster. Yeah, I don't know exactly. It's a little bit of everything here. Probably don't need heat. I think it's chilly, but not horrible. And we've been sitting in here, all four of us. And we'll make sure that we're not breathing on each other. It warms up fast there. Am I 1 for 1 on wear and tear? Yeah, that's so far so good. Like I was talking about how I kind of had some issues with carb icing last time, and I was interested just to see like if there was any residual damage. And yeah, I should have went in and tested before I started, but I'm still kind of trying to remember how to do all the AccuSim stuff and all that good stuff, but that's okay. All right, fuel pump is off. We're going to go ahead and got our avionics master on. These seem a bit dim to me. I'm wondering if there's a way to increase the brightness on them. I don't know if there is. Oh, there we go. You gotta turn them on. It's called power on. Seemed like yesterday when I was flying, and maybe it was just the way that the light was interacting with the cockpit, is that they were really dim. And so, but never mind, that looks fantastic. I'll take that. I'll take that. We are squawking 1200. And Jeffrey's here. Hey, Jeffrey. Can't wait to drop 50. Yeah, man. To watch an engine fail over and over. It's good fun. It's good fun, my friend. And then this guy up here again, kind of a whole different animal, and lots of things I need to learn about that. But that's part of the deal, right? Like you get a plane like this so that you learn stuff. Something just clicked off on me over there, and I don't know what it was. Kind of thinking maybe I should know. All right, instrument lights should be all I need. If I have to, I can turn the dome light on. But it is middle of the day here, after all. I know it looks like evening right now, but that's just until we get out of Port Allsworth. Yeah, the on button there is the volume button. So I try to get it. I don't know about you, Eric. Like about halfway seems like a pretty good level. But I haven't really messed with it a whole heck of a lot, to be honest with you. All right, so we're gonna do this. We've got nav 1 turned on, so we're talking on 22.8 Port Allsworth traffic radio check. I don't know if anybody's here. And then
loud and clear.
Awesome, thank you much. And so here's what we need to do. We are going to go. That's Wilder, actually, I should say. So. We are going to head toward this NDB here, which is Iliamna, and that is 411. And we actually won't be tracking any, probably won't be tracking any VORs here initially. Yeah, so let's we'll just tune in 411, which by the way is way over here. Turn that on and we'll go 4. I think I have to go backwards to get to 11. And if you spin it too fast, it really jumps. Alright, there we go. So there's our ADF, and that might, and we may have to get going. We're 32 miles away, but that's our ADF. That's our gauge right there. All right, so a couple last minute things here. I need to check the altimeter, which is 3020.
Hello, Minna.
Iowa Scotsman is here. Hello, Ron. Happy Thursday. And hopefully I haven't missed anybody here. Forgot to check the ammeter. Yeah, we're doing good here. We're making good power. Once we start turning stuff on, that comes down to 0. It's funny, the electrical draw on this. It's pretty cool, actually. Another one of those like things that you have to really wrap your mind around. All right, carb heat is off. Fuel pump is oh, that's engine start. We're already there. So primer is locked. Avionics master's on. Ammeter we checked. Radio's on. Transponders on. Altimeter's set. Heading. We wanna leave here if we can on roughly a 200 heading, but we do have terrain, so we can't just go all willy-nilly and just head that way. First thing I should do though is this. We are about 115, 116-ish. 116 or so. Let's get that set. Now, I don't know about you guys, you that have flown the plane and have flown in real life, but I do have the gyro drift feature turned on, and the manual says that you really should, like, you're gonna have to adjust that about every 15 minutes or so. And then up here in Alaska, I think there's even some spots where it is even more pronounced. I like, is that like really truly, is that how badly it drifts? That you have to be fiddling with it like every 15 minutes? That's interesting. Whoops, too far. I'll put 200 on here just so I can have a rough idea. When the generator's off, the engine's off, you'll see the negative. Oh, you'll be on the negative side. Engine on, it slowly charges and trends towards 0. Yeah, awesome. Ammeter shows the status charge of the battery. When slightly depleted and engine on, it'll be on the high side. So this will, as it's running, you're saying this will come more towards 0. Ah, I see. I see. Okay, oil temps are looking good. Really, it's a pretty happy engine at this point. Cylinder head temps are a little low, but they are rising. And we want to be patient. I know, I want to go flying too, but we want to be patient. Okay. And we could, so one of the things that I don't really know is when you are just on the ramp or taxiing, like, you're not supposed to run full rich because you can foul the plugs. But I don't really know like how much you're supposed to lean out. So what I'm doing, I just am kind of going here and just pulling back a little bit on, oops, that's the prop. See, old habits. I'm going to pull back on the mixture here and see if I can get these cylinder head temps to start to rise just a little bit, and there they come. They're starting to come a little bit. Yeah, I'm not pulling back a ton, but I've pulled out probably a fourth of the way here. But these are the little things of a real the real engine that I'm learning. Oh, you can lean this until you sputter. Okay, so it's just the same as like when you're at cruise then. Okay, so we'll kind of watch the RPM needle here. It'll really start to shimmy and shake as you starve it from fuel here. A little. It's more important to maintain 1,000 RPMs. Okay, I'm going to pull back a little bit on the throttle then. And continuing, so I'm just continuing to lean here. Lean and mean. Oh, Above, okay. Alright, so above 1,000, too low equals fouling. Oh, okay. So should I leave it? I guess as I'm on the ramp, then should I leave it full rich and just go to 1,000? Is that what you guys are saying? Things to learn. Things to learn. Okay. All right. Oh, 1,000 perfect and lean to stutter. All right. Let's pull her out there. I can hear it. I mean, it's kind of doing it now. Like right there, I can kind of... I'll put a little bit of power back in there. Okay, perfect. Same with all engines like that, roughly. Okay, gotcha. And, all right, so that should help everything kind of warm up a little bit. We'll leave it just a little bit longer, and then we'll taxi out and do our run up. Port Ellsworth right now is the winds are calm, and overcast at 300, so that's our ceiling. So I need to probably file a flight plan here, don't I? What am I gonna say for my flight plan? This is where I went from Dawson City into Valdez yesterday, and it was just magical. It was so, the weather was just crazy. I flew this crazy approach, this offset LDA approach, and it was wonderful. I think we'll probably go to Kodiak Muni or Benny Benson if we have to. Let's see, it's 1900 Zulu. We should be in the air easily within the next 20 minutes. And I'm planning about an hour flight. We've got probably 4 hours of fuel or so. We'll be doing 150-ish, most likely. And since this is a slightly eastbound trek, I'm gonna file like 5,500. There's our friend Pentagon. We finally got our third Rob here. Welcome, sir. And we will say east. I'll say southeast bound. And yes, thank you very much, A2A. I do need to say again, thank you to Two-Tone Murphy as well as A2A for providing me this copy. Like, they didn't give me the copy specifically, but I won it on the Two-Tone Murphy channel. So thank you for your generosity, guys, and congratulations on what is certainly a fantastic add-on, and you've just raised the bar for everyone, gentlemen. So well done, and skull. Oh shoot, type was IFR. Okay, let me refile. Guys, you guys are good. That's why you're my flight crew here. All right, there we go. VFR. Boom, shakalaka. And yes, we're going on a bear hunt. What's with the lovely tractor? All right. What program is it? Use the file. So I use. So you can use. I don't. This is not. This is not what I'm using. But like SimBrief is the one I love the most, because you can just do a pre-file on the network, and then you can go straight down here. For this flight, since it's just a VFR flight, I'm actually just filing it directly from, so I'm using, since I'm in Microsoft Flight Sim, I'm using XPilot, and XPilot has that flight plan button that takes you right there. That's what everybody's used to, the old way of doing it. So is that a train next to my, what are you talking about, next to my camera? All right, hang on for a second. I need to see it. Let me look at my own stream here. I don't know. Oh, geez. Huh. Sorry, those are the hype train symbols. I forgot to take those off. So yeah, when you get a hype train, the junior first officer created a train for me, and I use it for my hype train rewards. So it is a train. That's right. So I was confused there. Well, you got a little preview of hype train art. All right, well, I don't know if the cylinder head temps are going to come up that much, so I think we're going to go ahead and just rock on out and do a hype tractor, yeah. We're going to rock on out and do ourselves a quick little run-up and get flying. I'm going to put this PAKX, and then we go to ILI and B, and then, man, I hope I have this one. This might not be KEB. Let's see what we have. Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, wonderful. Jeffrey's got, yeah. So if you're a subscriber, an ascriber, you get the locomotive as part of your emotes. I think we're right in the middle here. Yeah, I'm gonna taxi to the left, I think, and I'm gonna go. I don't. Where the heck am I? I'm gonna hop out and get a sense of where I'm at. I'm gonna just buzz up there. That's 2-4 left, and that way we can pretty much depart right down the lake, have a chance to climb a little bit, and then I think we'll be ready to go. While the traffic. Actually, let me do my disregard. Let me do my run up here first. Yes, I'm probably hitting the collidable object there. Do the run up here so I can blow rocks on everybody's car in the parking lot. Alright, hold the brakes. By the way, we just did a little brake test there, and we noticed our instruments were functioning correctly. Lights are all coming on. Pitot heat is coming on. I'm going to go ahead and go full rich. We're going to spin it up to 2,000, I believe. Yep, 2,000. You can hear it kind of chugga. I must have fouled them a little bit there. Oh yeah, I'm fully firewalled, and I'm not making any kind of manifold pressure, and I've screwed something up here. I'm having my first engine issue. Okay, that's not good. That's not no bueno. I can feel it shake, or look at it, it's shaking on me. I can hear it. It's not. Whoa. Yeah, guys. The tablet has an engine analyzer here. So we're problem is I don't know how to read this. I think the orange means best power. And this down here, the dark orange, that's not good. Okay, I'm gonna pull back there. Look at the Venturi ice. Oh, is that what that is? Alright, so do I need to pull the carb heat out then? I'll just put it back to 1,000. Open it up. Can you hear that? Sputter, 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 sputter. And watch, you can watch the... oh, is that ice? Is that what that's showing? Oh, that's cool. So it's melting off a little bit. Ah, that's awesome. Now it's a little better. Still not running super smooth, but we'll do our run up, and then we'll just let it kind of warm up. Cylinder head temps are still super cold right now. All right, meg check coming. Ooh, that's ugly. That's way too much. That's damn near 500. So So the left mag is working way better than the right. The right mag is toast. And the difference between the two is supposed to be no more than 75. So that is not good. That is not... We're not airworthy just yet. Let's cycle the prop. RPM drop, manifold pressure rise. Fuel flow coming up. Yeah, and I've got some hot cylinder head temps now. See, I've got a... This is an issue here as well. I must have done something on my last flight. I'm having my first... yeah. It's probably the mags. Now it's probably mags, so full throttle and lean till it stutters. Okay, let's try that. I've got my mechanic. I've got this guy I know in Norway.
Hello, Samson.
Okay, lean, 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 lean. There's our stutter. Yeah, that's... We're not happy. Those cylinder heads are hot. Hot, hot, hot. Everything else is in the green and happy, but... Alright, so let's pull back on the power here. We go, you know what? Now I got 3 cylinder heads that are that are ready to burst. The white dots next to the cylinder heads are the spark plugs. Talking about up here on this indicator here. Oh, on the tablet. Now let's take a look here. I didn't mean for this to become such a learning stream, but I suppose it was due to happen. So we're making good, like they're popping like they should. This is yellow, orange. These are the 3 that are overly hot right now. So see the different sizes. Smaller white dots are fouled. Oh, so this is fouled. That's a little... Oh, so we do have some fouling. Okay. So what's my process? That's much. So should I run it wide open again to is that how you unfoul the plugs? You just open it up? I'm just worried about my cylinder head temps being so good to go now, you think? Even though I've got 2 okay, there goes Niner Mike, I think. We've got somebody else that's heading down that way, so we'll give it a minute here. Try normal 2000 and a meg check now. All right. Yeah, the meg check just a minute ago, guys, was ugly here, so let's see. Oh, there's a normal meg drop. All right, good. That's much improved, much improved. All right, very good, very good. Carb heat off, carb heat come off now. Okay. All right, awesome. Well, okay. I wouldn't say we're all the way around happy, but we are happier. I'm going to go back to 1,000. I'm going to try to get these cylinder head temps back down out of the red. But that oil temp pressure looks good. Fuel pressure is good. Full. We're fully charged. Cylinder head's much improved. Yeah. Good to go. All right. Welcome. By the way, welcome in Down with Sim. First takeoff indeed, sir. So I'm going to have to go in then afterwards and do some maintenance. Check and see what is going on with my aerial plane. Okay. While the traffic... was there somebody else heading down 24 left?
I was going to. I'm having something's wrong with my Comanche. I'm gonna have to reset.
Yeah, I'm trying to break mine as well. All right, the Wilder traffic, Comanche 11816 on the backtrack, 24 left. Yeah, and so that is an understatement, Eric. Thanks for your help on that, by the way. And I know you've been spending a ton of time in this plane, so I do appreciate like your insights. And everybody, by the way, if you know an aircraft or you have experience with the aircraft or whatever, and see something I'm doing that's not correct, please feel free to let me know. I'll set a notch of flaps. Flight controls are looking good. Up, down. Touch the ground. All right, down with Sim. You got to go back to work. Thanks for checking in, Ralph. Good talking to you, man. Hello to your crew from my crew. All right, let me get myself adjusted. Get my pilot seat adjusted here. We're basically at the end of the runway. Okay, if we fly 200, we should come across some grizzly bears. I hope the weather's, hope it's nice enough that we can see these things. All right, fuel pump needs to come back on. We're gonna go mixture full forward, prop lever full forward, and we're gonna give her full power. We're looking for 85, and then we're gonna climb at 105. And if we have some issues, we got to try to get our butts back here because there's nowhere to land but water. So we're going to make a right-hand turn to come back. There's 2 airstrips here. With any luck, we'll hit one of them. All right, here we go. Power set. We're making good power. Engine instruments are good. Airspeed's alive. 60. Forgot to check trim. Just realized that. 70, 80, and rotate. There's a positive rate. Gear coming up. We are out of usable runway, so there goes the flaps. We're going to make our turn here, 200-ish. Really going to follow the lake as far as we can. And I'm going to try to stay below the cloud layer. We're supposed to be, the ceiling's supposed to be 300 feet, but so far so good. Alright, we're going to pull back the power. 24 RPMs, 24. Fuel pump can come off. Once we get down to the far side of this lake, we'll kind of be past this terrain, then we can turn on course. We're pretty close right now, though, to be honest with you. Not far away. All right. Checking the instruments here. Everything looks very nice. The cylinder temps have kind of come back to where they need to be. And I'm going to run, since we've been fairly rough on the engine here to start out with, I'm going to come back to about, let's come back to about 1800 RPM for this first little bit. I don't have the chart out to tell me what my setting needs to be for the best forward speed or best economy, but we're going to go about right there. And I'm just, again, one of the things that Scott says in his video that I'm attempting to do, and I don't know how well you guys can hear this, but So I'm attempting to listen to the engine, and it sounds much happier right now. Check the three-way switch. Oh yeah, thank you. Can you set that? Can you set that to the off? I don't think I have that turned on. Clouds are keeping you at 3,500. All right, I'm not quite getting that just yet, but as long as we can stay low enough to see the grizzly bears. Yeah, I don't think I have that turned on. I do remember seeing that though, Eric, and no, I don't. So I wonder if I turn that on right now, will that... Oh, it is on. Oh, it is on. Okay. So should I be able to move that down? Is that what you're telling me? No. You know, sometimes, Eric, the Bravo will override. Like I have another plane, the PMDG 737. I can't put it down into the locked position because of my Bravo. So I bet that's what it is. Yeah, it looks like we're up. So I can live with that. Let me know if the engine sounds are too loud, if I'm not loud enough, if everything's... Uh-oh. Iliyama's looking a tad weathery. Rats. That's not what I wanted to hear. Yep. Port Allsworth, you guys. It's... we've been here a few times. I think we've been here in at least 2 Bush League backcountry fly-ins. And then there might have even been another time that we've been up here, like for a virtual USA Flying Club event. I can't remember, to be honest with you, but in X-Plane, LP Nils has done work, and there are like 3 or 4 little airstrips. We're flying right by one of them over here, actually, that he's done some work on. By the way, who in here? I know somebody. Maybe it was Defective Crayon, has actually managed to go in and use the paint kit to make a livery. Has anybody else been able to do that? When I pull up the Photoshop file that they provided, I don't have the ability to change the tail number. Is that, like, should I... Because I think this little puny tail number looks horrible. Like, it can't really be that small, right? Maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah, and maybe I'll just leave it up to the pros. But I'd like to slam my my eagle on there or something. I don't know. Put something on the panel maybe. But I don't know. Skydive Rob says there's a few. Okay, so I'm hand flying, and look how wonderfully it trims out. Now it's pretty calm right now, so if it was windy, it would not be this stable. But man, there is no other airplane in E3D right now that flies this smoothly and responsively, but also not jittery and jerky. You know, like the problem that a lot of planes have with the trim wheel, where it trims for a little bit and then it really goes fast, or the rudder authority, like it deflects to about 15 degrees and then it's all the way out, and so you're all over the friggin' place when you're trying to taxi or go down the runway. Man, this is just a continual smooth movement from start to finish.
I'm in traffic. Cherokee 99 Mike is 7 miles to the south and bound to 5.
NDB is alive, by the way. Yes, it is. All right, very cool. So we're heading that way. That's the Iliyama NDB that we're trying to track. So we're pretty close. We need to come slightly to the left. And I don't know. I know some people will spin this to get it to where it needs to be. I don't really do that. I just work off of the triangle and the arrow. So I'm a little bit right of course right now, which is because we were just trying to swing to the right around these mountains. But Iliamma is sort of right on the other side of that hill right there. So I'm going to come slightly left of course and there. I'm going to try to... Now I'm working more off of this than I am off of my heading bug per se. Okay, monitoring the engines. Cylinder head temps are getting a little bit low again. Should I pull carb heat back out? I want to make sure that that doesn't get below the green. Right? Should I put some carb heat in? What is... I don't know the cockpit temperature. Where is that at? Is that this guy right here? 25.2? No, that's manifold pressure. Oh, cockpit temp in the tablet. Yeah, I don't... .65 inside. Not bad. A little chilly, but not bad. But again, kind of back to my cylinder head. Do I want, or should I? Can I warm that up by leaning things out just a little bit? What's the best strategy for that, you guys? So that's Iliamma. That's Steve. He's out ahead of us here, and probably by about 5 miles or so. So I'm we're gonna stop at Iliamma, and then I'm gonna try to. Actually, no, I'm gonna overfly Iliamma, and I'm gonna go up and down the coastline and see if we can find these bears. Carb heat won't change cylinder head temps, so I'm gonna have to do it by. Do I lean out the mixture then? Is that how I do that? CHT is fine as long as the needle is moving. Slightly below the green line is fine. Okay. Now I'm paranoid of getting carb ice. It's the cowl flaps. That's what you... This doesn't have cowl flaps, but the cowl flaps are what you can open and close on some airplanes to adjust the cylinder head temps. Am I thinking right? I'm trying to remember what you do on the DC-6. Mike is saying should be fine. Carb ice, look for the manifold pressure changing without you doing it. All right. So, kind of like any type of icing, you start to lose power, and you're not the one intentionally losing power. Gotcha. Yeah, this doesn't have it. Okay, so I'm at least somewhat thinking about the right thing. The DC-3 is that way also. What other airplanes do I fly that have cowl flaps? Can't remember.
Comanche 99 Mike, left base, Iliamma.
Alright, so Steve's making a stop. Kind of let us get caught up to him. And again, we're gonna overfly the NDB and kind of go up and down the shoreline, looking for what Microsoft Flight Sim claims to be grizzly bears. Now, I don't know, honestly, if we're going to be able to get low enough to see them, but we're going to give it a try. What the hey? Do I see? I see his nav lights out there. Strobe light. That's cool.
Iliamma traffic, Comanche is turning final runway 8, Iliamma.
So I've noticed there are already a few pretty nice not really tutorials per se, but just like in-depth look at this airplane. The one I'd refer to, excuse me, right now more than anything would be actually Two-Tone Murphy's his initial stream when he was sort of debuting it.
Oh, different Oreo.
That's Delta Oreo, Dave Rendon. Dave, how are you, man? Welcome. Happy Thursday. I did see Q8 Pilot did a review of it. His will most likely not be quite as technical, though. I haven't watched it yet, but I know that he's put one out. I also know that JPC has flown around in it a little bit, and I've watched some of his stuff, and he's got some nuggets of information that he's shared as well. So I'm sure that there are going to be a bunch of review videos and tutorial videos. I know A2A has already put out at least one.
Comanche 0 Tango 0, 10 miles from the field, 2,000 feet, inbound for a touch and go, only do anything get left down to the runway, it's still down.
I've done a really crappy job of checking in. Ileana traffic. Comanche 816 is overflying the field 2,200, and then we are going to head down the shoreline, then back up to the north, looking for grizzly bears. Ileana traffic.
Lima traffic, Comanche's back taxi, runway 8 for departure.
Yeah, what the A2A guys have done, and they've built a career on this for the most part, although not exclusively, but they've taken general aviation aircraft which have fewer systems than, like, say, a 737, right? Like, if you were to look at a Comanche compared to an Airbus, like, the Comanche is much simpler from a systems perspective. But the beauty part of that is that even though there are fewer overall systems, like, they can take the systems that are here in the aircraft and model them to such a minute detail that it's just phenomenal. And so, and they've done that over and over and over again. Now I know that they've also done a B-17 or something crazy like that. Like, they've got a few more complex aircraft, and I don't know how that is, because that was way back in the P3D days. But I've really appreciated that sort of business model, because they were doing GA when like it wasn't cool to do GA. Like, it was all these big heavies or nothing else, and they just, you know, they put out the Skylane. They put out they put this plane out. They have a Cherokee out. Hey, Mike, thank you so much for the gift sub to our friend Eric. Yeah, the B-17. Yeah. Sergeant Staff is here. Hey, man. You're the only one that hasn't gotten this plane. Well, Sarge, you know, it'll be out there for you when you're ready.
Lima traffic, Comanche 99 Mike, departing runway 8.
There's the readiness team springing into action. Well, you know, that's true too, Sarge. If it's not what you do, yeah, I mean, it's a nice plane and all, but all right, you guys, I'm gonna make my turn here and go out to the shoreline, and then I have no idea really where the bears are. The map said that they were in this area, kind of in this bay, so. Yeah, my mom just got home, I think. Dogs just love them. Hello. What you got? Oh, yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Lima traffic, Comanche 99 Mike, departing the pattern to the south, we're following the coastline.
Ileana traffic, Comanche 816 is approaching the coastline. We're going to make a left-hand turn and head back up northbound We'll try to get down below 1,000 feet, Iliama traffic. You've been known to get planes just because you fit right in here then, Sergeant Staff. Thank you. Man, my neighbor lady's raspberry bushes are starting to produce. Oh, man. Yummy. Okay, we are clear to make our turn, and we just are super high up still, aren't we? I kind of have purposely gone a little further south than what I remember the map showing, and I'm fairly confident that I'm going to have to be down like really low to be able to see things. You got the DC-6 just because you want to see when you were flying with Captain Seppi. Yeah, that's, well, and I think the thing about like PMDG and now A2A or any of those developers, even Just Flight fits into this category. It's like if it's a very solid add-on, maybe you don't necessarily, like, it's not part of what you do currently, but you might end up enjoying it enough that you may sort of expand your expand your channel a little bit. I never really thought that I'd have helicopters as a part of what I do, but there are so many really amazing helicopters out there now that, like, I can't imagine my my schedule without one or two now. All right, so we're gonna keep our eye out. We're gonna try to get down nice and low.
Westbound along the coastline, have some Melvin in sight. 15 feet.
Roger. We see your lights blinking. Nope, never mind. That's the beacons of the airfield. We'll keep an eye out for you there, Steve. Okay, so where would they be, you guys? You think on the beach, looking for scavenging for salmon or something? I don't even know. Keep your eyes out and we'll see. Amphibs are what you do on your lake streams and cargo planes in Alaska. Alright, we're at 200 feet, you guys. If we're going to see something, we're probably going to see it down this low, I would think. Maybe not. Again, those are trees down there that... And sometimes my LOD, it doesn't... Things don't pop in till the last minute, so... I'm going to keep one eyeball on the shoreline and one eyeball on the VSI. And we're going to try not to do a little water landing here, if we can help it. Our speed's good. I'm just trying to slow down a little bit so we can have a chance to see. Now, we should... Okay. The icon for the bears was north of this little inlet, so it's it should be party time now, guys. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we're pretty well trimmed out here. Looking. Yeah, right. That would be the hunter's dream. That'll be the one animal I can guarantee I'm never gonna hunt. Alright. Probably over here where I can't get to. Yeah, if they're in the trees, we may be in trouble. Alright. What we'll do is we'll make one more pass kind of inland and see if we notice anything. I definitely have not seen anything yet, though. Could be out there scavenging in somebody's trash can. I hope not, but you never know. No, I've heard that it's well, actually, I've heard it's not good to eat, but maybe it depends on how you prepare it. But I just yeah, it's I don't big game hunt really anymore, so it's not really even a question. But so is there, like, can you, like, if you're on the, can you pull the map up and look for these things? I don't normally do that, but does anybody know? Can I, where's, is this the map? No, where's the map? VFR map. If I pull that up, will that show me anything? Not really. Make sure I'm not. That doesn't really show me anything. Alright. Okay. Iliyama traffic. Comanche 816 is going to make a left-hand turn and overfly the area just a bit more inbound on the shoreline back to the southeast. Currently at 250 feet, Iliyama traffic. Probably have to have the POI on. Okay, let me get around and stable, and then you guys can walk me through that. Flying in your on-air neighborhood, nice. Assistance, POI fauna makers. All right, should we do it? Should we do it? Assistance. Points of interest and fauna markers on. Okay. Apply and save. I've never done this before, so this would be kind of cool. And then do you go back into the map then? And is that potentially what that is, do you think? No? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the bears moved on. I don't know. Okay. Don't think it'll show on the map. Okay. Just gotta look around. Alright. I probably flew right over them while we were farting around doing that. Oh, and I'm now at 1,000 feet almost. All right, well, you know what? We'll just keep looking then. But maybe though, I guess maybe what you're saying is I might have, like, if you don't have that turned on, you actually won't see the bears. Is that kind of what I'm gathering here? So I might have hosed myself here. Okay, so like if, and will that show up, like where does the POI marker show up there? Just a large tag over the bear. Do a 180. Okay, so we'll flip it back around. Iliyama traffic. Comanche 816 is going to make one more run up the shoreline to the northeast. We're currently at 600, be at 500 feet. Okay. And it will be very visible. Alright. As an Air Sarge, we take the savings from lack of certification, insurance, and licensing to you. Did you see Rob Valkyrie, the post he shared? Air Valkyrie. Rob, did you go and sign up for Air Valkyrie? I'm like, that is awesome. Alright, so doing a 180. Oh, there's a slider for that? Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything out here. Alright, so let's go back in. Assistance. Points of interest. There's a slider for this, you said? I'm seeing this on. Okay, hold on. Alright, hold on. General options. Oh, sorry. General options. It's hard to read and fly at the same time. Alright, so let's go back. I'm not going to save anything. General options. Alright, there we go. Traffic. Fauna and density. So that's turned up to 100. So I can't get more than that, right? Well, maybe the bears have just moved on, you guys. Maybe they've just moved on. Alright, you know what? Bears will do that. They will do that. Well, so, alright then. What I'm going to do is we're going to track off of the... Oh, there we go. Hey, wait a second. I see it. I see it. I see it. That's right. That's the old joke, isn't it, Eric? Alright, here we go. So when we head, by the way, we're going to head outbound away from the NDB here on a 130-ish heading. But bear marker in sight. All right. This is a first on the Melvin Leroy channel. Using a POI marker to actually find some of the hard-earned or hard worked on the modeled bears and stuff. I mean, I hate for the Asobo developers to go to all that trouble putting grizzly bears out here and nobody enjoy them. What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear. Oh, it's usually Sarge. It's usually Downwind Sim that's rolling off the. I can't find my emote for this. Somebody throw that dad joke emote up there. A gummy bear. It's good. I like that. I like that. All right, speed's back down. Here we are getting down again to around 300-ish feet, and. Of course, we're going back up into the mist here, so by the time we get there, we may be hard IMC and not able to see him, but heck. That's right, we're going to use those binos, Iowa Scotsman. Alright, so we are slightly gamifying the channel today. A missed opportunity. Alright. Alright. Sergeant Staff is on a roll, man. Why did Mother Nature make only one Yogi Bear? Because when he tried to make a second one, he made a boo-boo. Ah. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's the lack of sleep. Oh, you had one of those nights? I'm sorry to hear that. I had a pretty good night's sleep. But despite that, I just woke up a little tired. Still not quite all the way back, but you work midnights. Yeah, shoot, that's hard. I did that for a couple of summers, and it is just hard. No doubt about it. So, I don't know. This seems like way far away from the map, but the world map where I saw, so it puts, like, you guys maybe have seen it, puts like a little animal print like on the world where you have these things. And I could have swore this was a lot closer to Iliamna, which is why I plotted the course here, but that's okay. Shanitna Bay, grizzly bears, less than 3 miles, guys. Okay, Shanitna Bay it is. We do love naps. This is a nap encouraging channel, to be sure. Call a grizzly bear in a phone booth. What do you call a grizzly bear in a phone booth? Stuck. Yeah. Alright, gotta grab a little altitude here. My airspeed's getting a bit low, so add some power in. And we'll keep our eyes peeled here, you guys. If I don't see it, I'll do a little active pause, and we'll head out. We'll take a look-see. I've only seen a grizzly bear once in the wild. It was a juvenile. It was actually the same day that I saw my very first black bear in the wild. It was a 2-for-1. It was up in Teton National Park. We saw the first one while we were fishing, and second one while we were driving out. Okay, well, here we go. I guess if the big blue dot doesn't give them away, nothing will. Let's see if we can actually see them. And there they are. All right, hold on. Pause. Active pause. Let's go outside the plane. Showcase camera. I am not good at this. There they are, though, you guys. Look at that. All right, that's pretty cool. I will give them credit. That's pretty cool. What's this guy doing over here? Just walking around, doing bear stuff. Bunch of them. All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Good job, Asobo. I'll give you credit for that. All right, so back to the cockpit, and we'll leave that turned on because we got to try to find some. We have to try to find some seagulls next because nobody's ever seen seagulls. You did see the African elephants, huh? Cool. It's moonwalking. That was kind of cool. All right, so let's. We're going to turn now. All right. Iliamna traffic. Kodiak. Jeez Louise. Comanche 816. Yeah, we're turning eastbound now. Climbing back up through 700 feet. So we're way north of the NDB, so this is going to be gonna just probably just set it. In fact, I think what we'll do is this. Might be the first time we use our autopilot, just because I want to have a consistent heading here. So let's turn the autopilot power on. Let it initialize here. You can see I've got some gyro drift already here, but that's okay. We're going to go to heading mode. So now we're currently on heading mode, and we're climbing a little bit. So right now it thinks we're doing 150, but see how much already I've lost? Like I'm 135 is what this should be. And it's almost impossible to try to adjust it while you're flying too. So it's like, let me see if I can get that pretty close. Kind of 145. That's pretty close. All right. We do need to miss these mountains. But we'll put that at 145. I want this to be, what did I say? I want this to be 130 outbound. Okay, so let's spin this guy around. I'm horrible at using this, by the way. Horrible. Currently, okay, so all right. Right now we're basically on an intercept course, kind of back to the southeast. I gotta sneeze. Maybe. The track that we're looking for on the NDB, so we're kind of trying to do this and intercept this track. We'll see if I can get that. Check carbice, my manifold. Well, it is, and I'm not getting much power. So all right, here we go. Let's add some carb heat. Thank you for paying attention to that. Yeah, and I'm actually losing altitude here as well. Most likely I'm gonna have to maybe go circle to the south around this terrain. Oh, there we go. We're starting to come back up. We're starting to shake that ice off. Hey, Subsonic. How are you? Welcome. We just saw grizzly bears in Alaska. Alright, so what I'm looking for here is when this guy gets to this end spins around to 130, that's when I want to turn and chase it. But the problem is I'm going to be turning left, and that's going to take me, so I got to climb a little bit for this to happen. And so this will be pointing back toward the NDB if I'm outbound on a 130, so it's pointing back at a 310. That's what I'm shooting for. Now I can power back a little bit. Okay. I'll go back to about 24 was running pretty well early. Yeah, my cylinder head temps are coming up, so I'm shaking that ice out of there. That's good. Hey, all right, Sergeant Staff. Go actually be social. Well, say hello to your crew from my crew, and thank you so much for coming by. Great to talk to you as always. And we will we'll see you on the next one. I'm probably going to be doing it about the same time tomorrow, Staff. If you don't have anything going on, come by. I've kind of lost my normal Thursday, Saturday time for this week, so I'm trying to do some bonus flying. Yeah, we're going to clear this terrain. And I am going to add a little power in here just to make sure that happens. The far edge of that I am showing. Ooh, and am I almost ready to turn? Not quite, almost though. The far end of this hill is 3,000. That high stuff is 3,400. This peak right here I'm showing, I think it's 2,500. So if we can't make 2,500, I'll just head one way or the other. Kind of losing my. This should be swinging around a little bit more. I wonder if I'm losing my. If I lose contact with that, it's going to go side to side. So I still am tracking it a little bit. All right. Well, I don't think I'm going to make this hill, so we're going to do this. We're going to come around to the kind of east side of it for now. And actually, I don't know why I'm hand flying or not hand flying it at this point. There we go. And if we don't follow the VOR, if we don't follow the NDB, that's not a big deal because I'm aiming for like a massive. Pretty massive little bay here, so it's called McNeil Cove. So what I'll probably do is this. So we're across. That was Iliamna Lake that we just crossed. Now we're going obviously across some terrain here. I'm not seeing anything. I think we just passed over the highest stuff. I'm not seeing anything more than about, well, there's a couple 3,000 foot peaks toward the opposite side. But this is what I'm looking at, you guys. So we just flew over. We just got over the top of the lake here. I think we're actually going a little bit more eastbound. Like eastbound here. And I think we just circled around this little ridge. So I'm just going to kind of keep going on course, and we'll come out here somewhere close to Bruin Bay, and then we'll turn back to the southwest. We'll track down, and again the map showed the seagulls were kind of in this area here in McNeil Cove. Sound like a plan? RPM up. Oh, yeah, I should have. All right, 3,000 will work. 3,500 is better, but 3,000 will work. I'll put some RPMs back in, though. Man, I love how responsive it is to the trim wheel. Right, there's your trim. Be kind of fun to crank on that in real life, wouldn't it? Kind of reminds you of a Twin Otter, right? That's one of those guys that has that trim up top like that. Let's get up 3,500 and we will start to make our way. We're heading actually more south than east at this point. I'm going to turn eastbound. If I go too far south, I'll miss the bay altogether. So let's turn eastbound. Look at our compass is already way off. Holy moly. Like do you really lose that much? Yeah, maybe we're not quite so far. Once it settles in there, what are we? I'm showing, yeah, that's pretty close actually. That's pretty close. Okay, there's 3,500. We'll kind of trim it out here. Engine sounds happy. Let's make it even happier. Let's go back down to 1,800. Purrs like a kitten, baby. We're going to have some more clouds to deal with. We may not be able to hold 3,500. It's okay. We'll work with it. Alright, so I actually got a little further south than I thought. So I might be, instead of like up here, which is where I thought, I might be more like down here. So I wonder, like we have, well, that's probably why my, okay, so there's my NDB is pointing back over my left shoulder. So we currently, let's spin this around again. I'm not great at this. If you watch this back later on and you're good at this type of navigation, you're probably cringing at what you're witnessing right now, but I'm doing the best I can. I've had no formal training. Currently heading roughly eastbound, and so yeah, so it's back over our shoulder on about a 280 heading. Okay, we were wanting to come out of there at a 131 heading, so that kind of gives you an indication as to where we ended up. So we were supposed to be out of here at 131, and we're more like yeah, so 2, 3, maybe not quite that far down, but we're in here somewhere, kind of down in this location. Yeah, so we still have some terrain, I guess is what I'm getting at. 2006. So we've kind of brought this big guy into play, these 3,000 foot peaks. So I'd love to hold 3,500 if I could. I mean, I really don't care. Like, I don't think we're this far with this 4,000 foot range. I guess we could. We'll kind of keep an eye out, but all right, Eric, thank you so much for coming by. Man, it's nice to have somebody with some expertise that can help out. You're gonna ferry your plane back from Oshkosh. Where are you heading? And I've been watching your little Ford video that you put out, man. You do such a good job with that stuff, dude, and just masterful procedures and airmanship there at the Oshkosh event. Thanks for uploading that video. I enjoyed it a bunch. Are you taking that plane back somewhere? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, go over and it's called Eric's Flight Sim Geekdom on YouTube. You put a link there if you're still here, Eric, but if not, I'll try to find it for you. But yeah, he's the first streamer that I've seen use that really ultra wide monitor that I've actually, like, it's good, it's watchable. Usually those things are so stretched out that you can't really see what's going on, but the way that he's done it, I really enjoy. So yeah, now we're almost 1,000 feet higher than we need to be, but maybe that's good, because these babies look like maybe I've gone down farther south than I thought. Who knows? I think this is the ocean out here, though. Once I hit this ocean, I'm gonna cut south and just go along the water. I wish I could pick up this peak here. I think this might be Augustine Island. It's a 4,100 foot peak. Do you think, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, is that guy? Is that what we have right there? I bet. If that's the case, then we're actually traveling kind of this way, which would verify that we need to turn back to the south, and would also verify that we've got 3,800. We brought the big hill into play, which is, of course, what you want to do. Just like golf. I managed to bring OB, the water, the bunkers. When I used to play golf, I bring all that into play. Maybe it's not bad that we've climbed it to 4,500. Alright, we got anybody behind us? They're probably there already, and they found the seagulls. And they're heading to points beyond. Man, that's a pretty good little storm. It just flew underneath. It's really building up, guys. That's got to be that island. Uh-oh, dude, you okay? Yakking on a bone? Now, since it's seagulls, like I have no idea. But I think we're going to be limited by our cloud layer here, so I'm going to start working my way down. This is Bruin Bay, if I'm looking at my sectional correctly, so we need to keep going past Bruin Bay on a roughly southbound heading. So I think we're going to go ahead, just turn southbound, and I'm going to pull some power back and just gradually descend. And then we're cheating because we're going to be looking for the little indicator little pin in the map, right? There it is, Rock Boggle, thank you. There's our Flight Sim Geekdom 5742. It contains a bunch of great videos, and he just did a tail wheel tutorial that will knock your socks off. It's just out of this world. Really detailed explanation of what causes ground looping and kind of ways that you can minimize the chances of that happening. But he just goes into some really good detail and explains things very, very well. With I love his sense of humor. It's just enjoyable, like you say, Rob. It's enjoyable to watch and learn from him, and he's a good dude. He's a good dude. All right, so we're not quite fully southbound. I feel like there's a little bit of a hill right there. I'm going to kind of get out here a little bit more, and then we'll turn southbound. If we can find these seagulls, guys, then it's going to be time to turn and see if we can find Nanwalek. And we do have a VOR we can work off of as we're heading towards Nanwalek. We've got I think it's the Kenai, yep, the Homer VOR that we can work off of here. So that'll be helpful. That'll be helpful. Microsoft has done a nice job. Early on, Alaska the programmetry was not good up here. They've done a much better job. It's hard to get good ortho photos up here because, first of all, there's so much weather. It's hard to find a clear day to take pictures of the terrain. But secondly, it's so far north that the tile gets stretched out, and it just looks, even a good picture from space looks funny when you put it on the flight sim map. And so it's really hard to get good looking, like to make it look this good is tricky. So they've done a good job. All right, southbound we go, and again I'm going to attempt to get down. What do you think, guys? 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet? How high does a seagull fly? Not that high. Seagulls around my neighborhood don't fly that high. Maybe we'll try to get down under 1,000 again. Just see. And yes, we will try to not have a bird strike. Yeah, the sizes go up. Yep, that's true. That is true. Down we go, down we go. Still don't see anything kind of indicating any types of birds. As soon as we get over this little land feature, we're into the McNeil Cove. This is the, what is it, the trying to read the sectional here. The Comanche Bay, and then at the far end of Comanche Bay here is McNeil Cove, which is, again, where they're supposed to be located. So auto ortho, yeah. So in X-plane for sure, a lot of people are using auto ortho. I still am not. I have seen a number of people do it, and it's very intriguing. I've held off, but I think I might have to take a more serious look at things. Replica Gaming, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Thanks for coming by. We're up here, actually now near Homer, Alaska. We're looking for fauna, flora and fauna. I've done something on stream I've never done before. I've put the little pin sheet, so I can see where I'm going. We just saw some grizzly bears a little bit ago. It was kind of cool. I don't think I would have ever seen them had I not had that turned on. Well, I was way off. Like, I was Samsonite. I was like 15 miles south, so I definitely would not have seen them. And this may end up being the same deal, guys. I don't know. Even with that pin turned on, we may not see them. And I'm not going to look too hard for seagulls. I mean, seagulls are what they are, but everybody sees a seagull probably every day. They're everywhere. I'm going to try to avoid this cloud a little bit if I can. We are not really VFR legal at this point, but try to get around here as fast as we can. And if we don't see him on the first run through, then, like I say, I'm not going to worry too much about it. What I am going to do while I'm right here is I'm going to load up the Homer VOR. It's 114.6. I'm going to make that active. Actually, flip that over to the DME. So we're not tracking that yet. We're still a little ways away, but that'll help us. That'll help us get to the right spot. Oh, I see the pin. Okay, I see the pin. Very good. I'm gonna start at 1500 and see what that does. I'm trying to picture a seagull. They don't normally fly all that high where I'm at, but that's usually because they're down on the ground scavenging for chicken nuggets and things like that, leftovers things that people have thrown out. Okay, add a little power in here. Let's level out. Man, this thing is stable. What a joy to fly. Joy to hand fly. I don't think these are collidable. I don't think they're collidables. I hope they're not. That would be a crummy way to end this part of the stream. But yeah, hopefully they're not. Oh, you okay, dude? My dog hit his head on the desk. That's why you shouldn't be underneath trying to scavenge. I know I probably dropped some food down there. Well, we're on the right track, and at least we do have some decent visibility. 1,500. I guess we'll see. I'm hoping we're above. They're small. I mean, right? Yeah, I think you're going to have to be kind of right on them to be able to see them. You're 500 feet too high, you may not see them. Hey, our VOR is active. That's good. Welcome to McNeil Cove. It is nice and calm. Calm seas down there today. Okay, let's swing around a little to the right so we can maybe see him off our left side here. I feel like we're going to be a little too high. I'm gonna drop. See if I can drop down to 1,000 feet, and I'm gonna try to make a big, like, 270 right around this little cove and see if we can see him. Speed looks good. Carb temps are getting low again. Last time we did this, we picked up some icing, some carb ice, lost some manifold pressure. But also, this time it's low because I pulled way back. Way back. Alright, here we go, yous guys. We're not going to quite be right at 1,000 feet, but be in that neighborhood. Man, the water looks awesome, doesn't it, with the clouds? Reflections there, the little islands with the beaches, and well, if I can see the rocks out in the first few feet of the water as well. Okay. Feel like we're too high. Feel like we're way too high. Anything? Alright. Active pause engaged. Showcase camera. Where are you guys? Okay. They're not down here on the water, are they? No? They flown away? Where are they? Hello? Where are you guys? And I've got a feeling these guys are going to be hard to see. Let's go up a little ways here. No. Down. Alright, well, that's a strikeout, I think, you guys. I've definitely not seen anything. Okay, well, you know what? We tried. And again, like I said, I'm not like seeing seagulls and whatever. It is what it is. But and they move fairly quickly. So, yeah, so they may be quite a ways away. Oh well, it's okay. All right, power back in, please. RPM is back up as well. And we're going to go ahead and climb back out of here. Let's get ourselves back up to about 3,500. And let's see if we can figure out where we need to be. I'm seeing roughly 194-ish. Maybe a little bit. Let me see. 199. Alright, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to set this to be 199. So basically 200. Let's not turn. Just went too far. Okay, so we're sort of going perpendicular to our path right now, which is fine. But when that is lined up, we should be pretty close, and that's 26 miles. So I'm going to switch this over to DME now, distance. So we're 90 miles away from that. So when we get to 26 miles, and that guy is basically centered up, we should be close to Nanualek, which, by the way, is basically sea level. Right-hand pattern to runway 19er is what they suggest. Okay, very good, very good. My dog is hacking his lungs out right now. Holy cow. From McNeil Cove, I've got roughly like a 065 heading. So let's set that. So I'm even going to be more going southbound right now, so let's set that and try to fly that. That'll get us clear of the terrain. We climb up and out, and yeah, we got to kind of go all the way. So this is the Cook Inlet that we're crossing right now, and so we've got to go quite a ways past, or quite a ways across the Cook Inlet. There's that Augustine Island again that we passed just a little bit ago. Dude, he is coughing and hacking, man. All right. Okay, let's do. I'm going to practice some autopilot stuff here, and just get familiar with what we have. So this, if you don't know, the autopilot's kind of cool. It's a kind of an old school one, and so you have this is kind of a just fly straight and level mode. This is heading mode, obviously, and then you can track a VOR, and you have low and high options. So the as I understand, and I'm no expert here, but as I understand, if you have a really good signal, you set it to high, and that's what you track. You know, the VOR or whatever. If your signal is a little spottier, you use low. So like the default is obviously to put it on high, because that's where you get the most accurate kind of track. All right, dude. Go get some water. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's like it's almost lunchtime, Dad. Now, the other thing that's kind of cool about this is it does have an altitude hold. So I'm going to get up to 3,500, and I'm going to click Alt Engage. This is how you put it on and take it off. So I am altitude hold mode is on, and I get a little blue light right there. She will level out for me. So my airspeed will come up. When you have the yoke on, these things are right up here, but they've kind of done like a little cheat for us. Now, here's the part that's also kind of cool. It'll tell you if it needs some trim. Right now it's saying it needs some down trim, so I am using my trim wheel. I'm just kind of trimming it down, and you keep doing that until it stops beeping. Apparently what that is a little warning that it's, if you get out of trim, you lose a little bit of elevator authority, and you lose, you know, obviously you're not as stable in flight. So, but that's just kind of different. Like, this is the only airplane I've ever flown that has that. And there we go again. I just keep trimming it down a little at a time, and until we get settled in. And I'm going to pull the RPMs back. It's about 1,800, just kind of trying to be nice to the engine. Cylinder head temps look good. Get the carb heat, turn it off for now. And let's go about, let's move it back to 24 on the manifold as well. So burn a little less fuel, be a little nicer to your engine. Hopefully it'll pay off in the end. Alright, so yeah, this leg, by the way, this is a 70-mile leg, so this is going to be the one that takes us the longest. But as you can see, we're doing pretty good here. 130 knots, which is about 150 miles per hour. We could certainly get a little bit more out of this plane if we needed to, but I don't think there's any hurry. I'm not in any hurry anyway. So Sonic, do you have, kind of going back to the auto ortho thing, do you have that installed? Is it an easy thing to do? Does anybody else have that installed? Rob Valkyrie, that may be something you have installed? Because I think I need to look at that a little bit. I'm more and more curious. I'd really like to have that to fly outside of the U.S. Haven't tried it yet, Rob? Okay. Yeah, let's just enjoy. Here, I'm going to do this. Mike Stein, I don't know if you're still here or not, but I was going to ask you, and you don't have to, you can tell me over in Discord, but when is your wife's interview? Man, I like that reflection off of the mountain there. That's really cool. Rob, this is the kind of stuff that puts you to sleep, right? Listening to the airplane motor, man, it's just the ultimate white noise. Lovely, lovely stuff. I think everybody's taking a nap right now, which is totally understandable as we're buzzing across the open ocean of the Cook Inlet. Welcome. If you're lurking, first time to the stream, hello, my name is Brant. Welcome to the Melvin Leroy channel. It's a pleasure having you on board. We've been flying around the Homer, Alaska area and looking for, well, we looked for some grizzly bears. First of all, found them. We kind of cheated a little bit because we had to turn on the little fauna pin thing, but we were able to find the grizzly bears. We were not able to find the seagulls that we just apparently passed up. But we've had fun, and Ron, lurkers are always welcome. Thank you, sir. But anyway, yeah, we threw this stream together just kind of last minute because my normal streaming time on Tuesdays and Thursdays is midnight Zulu, 6 o'clock my time, 8 Eastern over here in the States, and I was not able to do tonight's regular time, so I thought, you know what, I've got a little bit of time here this afternoon. I've been farting around in this beautiful A2A Piper Comanche, and I thought let's just fly around someplace and enjoy. I've learned another thing or two about this plane thanks to our friends in chat, and I appreciate you being around. I also stream on Saturday mornings, most times at 1400 Zulu, so a little earlier in the morning, or a little earlier in the day, I should say. But I'm also going to miss this Saturday's stream because of a prior commitment. It was kind of a last-minute commitment. I got told I was going to be on a charity golf team, so, and I'm no longer a golfer, so that should tell you how desperate they are. But I think what I'm going to do tomorrow to make up for that, though, is this kind of a same deal. I'm going to just try to find some time during the day. I've got a hot date with the missus. We're going to go watch Oppenheimer tomorrow night, so I can't do it during F&O, but I can maybe find a spot or two to fly something. I'm sure we could find something about this same time tomorrow. So if you're not doing anything, come on back. Love having you as a part of the flight crew. The best part of my channel, without a doubt, are the guys and gals in the chat, the Discord. My community is amazing. It's awesome to fly with you guys every chance I get. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, we're cruising in here to our next spot. So we're 56.7 miles from the Homer VOR. All right, so let's do some math here. We want to be 26 miles away, so that means that we roughly have 30 miles-ish to go. So if this is a 68-mile leg, would put us a little past halfway. Now, I don't know that we're right on the money here just yet, but what we're going to do is when we get to this 199 outbound radio off of the Homer VOR, we know that we are in business. We at least know that we're in line and in the neighborhood. It's very possible that we may kind of come up and intercept here or intercept down here and have to actually like fly the beam a little bit to figure out where we're at. But at least we'll have a fighting shot at being where we need to be. I don't think it should be too tough to find because we have a couple of bays here, Port Graham and Seldovia Bay, that are kind of like pretty easy to see. And then down here, let's see if I can say this here, Koyuktuklik Bay. And yeah, so I'm hoping. Looks like this is actually called English Bay. We've got the English Bay River, so there should be some fairly good terrain features. There's a little island here, in Port Graham. So that hopefully this will be pretty easy to pick out, and we'll be able to find our airfield. What did we say? We were right pattern. Yeah, so it gives us some information there actually on the sectional. Hey, I've got a first time chatter, Trenton. Hello, Trenton Esperon. Trenton Esperon. Comanche, yeah, man, it's good. You have it yet? It's awesome. It is very, very good. We've got soft gravel in poor condition. Oh boy. Soft ruts, 4-inch diameter loose rocks. Oh, hey, there you go. Trent, okay. Trent, welcome. Yeah, I appreciate you coming in. It's nice to meet you. So, yes, right-hand pattern, runway 19, or left-hand pattern to runway 1. We don't really have any kind of a weather. We've got a windsock, but the one at the end of runway 1, it's missing. So, yeah, we're going to just kind of have to wing it here. What we do have is in the area, though, like not too far away, is Seldovia, and it looks to me like winds are variable at 3. And the overcast conditions at 300, so we may very well have a nasty low ceiling here that and so that could be interesting. Like if we end up up here somewhere, we will not be able to just track right back out on the VOR because we have a little bit of terrain here that we have to contend with. Not much, but a little bit. So if we do end up here, we may have to fly back down and chase the coastline. But fortunately for us, you know, this is sitting right there at the head of the English Bay, and that's what we're hoping to find. Yeah, it looks like 93 feet is our airport elevation. Oh, wait a second. What just happened there? I just opened up a new tab or something. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's where we're at. And we're just kind of on the most slow and boring phase. We still do have a little bit of coastline over there that we can look at, which is cool. I don't even know. Maybe I have a... Oh, I see a little bit of coastline on the other side also. There is... You can see that weather up there, though. That's... So we may have to contend with that as well. This would be the time of the flight that would be kind of the pucker time, right? Out over the ocean. You know, you're really hoping things keep running like they should. And especially like early on when we were taking off from Port Allsworth, right? We just about fouled the plugs, and then we had a bunch of carb icing, and so like you would be like, you'd be paying attention. Everything so far though, or since then, has been good. Everything's in the green, and the engine sounds good as well. So we have lots of fuel. Cylinder head temps have been running a little cool, really sort of all day long, but we're still in the green. Up here, these CHTs are happy and healthy, and we could probably, we're above 3,000. We could lean out just a little bit and save ourselves some fuel. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna pull back on the mixture a little. You see the gallons per hour starting to decrease. You'll see the temps come up here as well. What we're really looking for is we're looking for the RPM or the manifold pressure just to start to get really unstable. That's how you know you've leaned it far enough. Leaning it kind of by ear. We're down to 10 gallons. Yeah, we were over 20 gallons an hour just a minute ago. Just kind of easing it back. You can kind of hear it starting to wobble a little bit there. Yep, okay, there we go. Pushing it back. You want to go 50 degrees, reach a peak. And yes, we're going to be burning just a little over 10 gallons an hour, which is fine. And you can see our speed. Yeah, we lost about 7 miles an hour. But I could also push a little more power back in. So now I'm not getting manifold pressure. So maybe I am. Maybe I'm picking up some carb icing again. I'm gonna pull the carb heat out. Yep, see, that instantly gave me more manifold pressure. I think I've just been fighting that kind of all day today, guys. Okay, I'm gonna pull pulling the throttle back to 24 RPMs and nudge those guys back up to 1800. Just trying to run it at a very economical setting right here. The cool thing about the aircraft, let me see if I can pull this up, you guys. is it comes with where am I at here? Downloads. Where are you? Downloads. Downloads, downloads, downloads. There we go. Search for it this way. Comes with a really good set of documentation, or a good manual. And one of those here is this performance tab. Oh, that's not hyperlinked. So page 10. There we go. So you get all this stuff, you know, that you can set your RPMs and your manifold pressure, and you can lean out. The one that I was watching the other day, and I'm kind of learning this myself, is this guy right here. So the power settings table at cruise. So we're 3,500. We have several ways we could achieve whatever speed we want. So if we want to go 138 horses, or if we want to use 138 horsepower, which is a very efficient setting, we want to save fuel, wear and tear. Like, we could set 2100 on our RPMs, and we could run it at 20.9 inches of manifold pressure. We're even lower than that right now. If we wanted to crank it up a little bit, we could go 2100 and 23.5, or we could go 22 and 25, and then any of these others also. Let me do this. I'm at 1800. I'm gonna push it up to 2100, and I'm gonna see what I've got here, like about 20.9 on the manifold pressure. And let's just see kind of what that gives us. I'm starting to run into some clouds here as well. All right, so 2100. Going to give us a little extra speed here, but I'm going to pull this back to just under 21. And then my fuel burn, according to the chart, should be about 12.3 or so. Excuse me. Between 10 and 12. It's kind of what the optimum place for fuel burn is, and I'm currently at 11.3, so that's about right. And yeah, you can see that's nudged us up a little bit, maybe 145. We were about 142 before, but that's a fairly economical power setting. And again, there's so much. It's a 50-page manual, and there's just like every piece of it is really nicely detailed without getting crazy on the level of detail. Like, it's like a 50-page manual is realistic for the average flight simmer to look at. Some of these outfits that kick out, like volume 1 is 250 pages and volume 2 is 250, like, yeah, the average Joe is not going to probably look at that. So, downwind sim, how's the experience going? It's going pretty darn well, downwind sim. I've had some carb icing issues, but I'm learning to how to overcome that. And now the biggest issue is I think I'm going to need to descend because I've got clouds. So here I am. I just got my power setting where I want it to be. I'm going to disengage the altitude hold, and I'm going to go ahead and just let the plane, looks like the plane's going to come down just a little bit on its own. But yeah, we're on kind of the home stretch here, Ralph. We're just about to Nenwalek. Alright, I'm going to have to pull back on the power so we can descend. Try to get us down below these clouds. Alright, back to work. You do it. We'll probably be, hopefully within the next 15 or 20 minutes. Well, yeah, see, we're already 28 miles, so we're close, and we're still not quite to the outbound VOR. So what that is telling me is that we're left of course. Okay, so what's that? Excuse me, I can't talk. What that's telling me, guys, is that we are almost, like if you drew a big circle around here, we're almost to the distance, but since we're left of course, it means we're up here somewhere. So what I think I'm going to do is descend down below the cloud level, and then we're going to turn a bit more eastbound and try to intercept the shoreline. Boy, this is nerve-wracking here, isn't it? Getting down, trying to get down, I should say, below the clouds, over the open ocean. Woo-hoo. Should have been doing this a little bit sooner. Because our visibility up in Seldovia, which is only about, looks like about maybe 5 miles to the northeast of Nanwalek, visibility is 300 feet. So we could potentially get down here and not break through in time. I don't know how comfortable I feel being below 1,500 feet. If this is the case, you guys, I think what we'll do is maybe we'll shoot an alternate. We'll go to Homer. Homer's VFR right now. A few clouds at 200, scattered at 1,200, but it's VOR it's VFR. And the thing about Homer is we have some instrument approaches that we can shoot if we have to. So we're going to go down to 1,500. I do feel like I'm seeing the ocean here. That way looks a little bit not as nice. Altitude engage is on, blue light indicating, and yeah, now we have a choice to make. Let's turn a little more eastbound here. Wants me to trim up now. Okay, I'll trim up. I can comply. Actually, I'm going to turn on a perpendicular heading here. That's ultimately what we need to do anyway. We already know that we're going to come up and hit the shoreline sort of north of our airfield. So, ooh boy. Yowza. Okay, trim up, trim up, trim up. Speed's getting really low because I have no manifold pressure. Throttle was way back. All right, there we go. So here's the decision that we'll make. When we hit our radial, if we can see the shoreline, we will try to make our way down. And if we can't, we're gonna divert to Homer. Trim down, okay. Trimming down, trimming down, trimming down. This way looks doable. This way, not so much. Hate to be the responsible pilot guy, but there's the terrain. That's what you got to worry about. Like, you can't get too close to this business here. In fact, I think we're just gonna make the call right now, just to be safe. Trimming down, trimming down. Okay, we're good. So since we know we're out here over the water, I think we're gonna shoot. What is Homer saying right now? It's a 210 at 4. So Homer has a localizer runway 22. approach. It's off of the 1093 VOR, which is nice because that's what we have tuned in right now, if I recall. Nope, it's not 1093. And we need to be at 3,700, which is, yeah, we're definitely not, we just aren't going to be able to get underneath this stuff. All right, so let's do this. Let's disengage the altitude hold and let's climb back up to 3,700. And we're going to call this a diversion. We're not going to make it in, unfortunately, to our little small airport, but that's okay. It sounds like it was kind of in rough shape, and I don't really want to. I don't want to damage my gear or something. So, which is a thing with this aircraft. Wear the tires out, all that stuff. Don't want to do that. So that means this. We need to report. We're going to report to Homer traffic, and we are basically. I'm going to spin this guy around, so we're going to... Oh, no. Wait a second. I don't want the heading. I want this guy to come around. I want to just... We're going to just track direct to it right now. I'm not even going to fiddle around with anything. See where I'm at. Right about there. Okay. So here we go. How do we do this? We're going to go to We're going to go to high track. And it's going to start to make that turn. It's going to start to, there we go, we're starting to make that turn. Nice and gentle right now. Yeah, I just think, I mean, you can kind of see the shoreline, but man, that's pretty socked in, isn't it? That's pretty socked in. And we're down there too, which is even worse. So I think this is the right call. We're going to come into Homer. We're going to get up to 3,700, and we're going to shoot this approach. This is what we're looking for, the localizer 2-2 approach. So it can be done one of two ways. You can come in right over the localizer and fly it out here to a hold and almost make a back course type of approach out of it, or you could fly it and do a little procedure turn. And I actually think what we're going to do is just go straight to the Homer VOR, and we'll fly the outbound 055 out to the initial fix Keki. We'll fly a little procedure turn, come back in on a 218, and call it good. So that means that we'll track the Homer VOR until we get over it, then we'll turn to 1093, put an approach course of 218 in there, and we'll be in business. 2,700 is where we're at right now. Yep, much better weather up here. This is the right call. This is the right call. So unlike me to make the right safe decision, but Rob, thank you. Thank you. All right. Homer traffic. Comanche 11816 is approximately 10 miles to the southwest of the field. Climbing through 3,000. We'll be inbound runway 22, Homer. Homer's a nice spot too. Oh, I'm not sure why that came up. All right, almost there, 3,300. Again, we're going up to 3,700. That is the altitude at Keki. That's the lowest. The actual there's a range there. You can intercept it between 8,000 and 3,700. I'm gonna get to 3,700. I forgot to brief the rest of the approach here, guys. There's a descent portion as well that we have to do, so I'll pull that back over and we can look at that. We still have 11 miles to the VOR. Again, off the VOR on a 055 heading. Oh, you know what I need to do before I do anything here? We've got some magnetic drift again. It's about 037 is where we are right now. Ish, right there-ish. Okay. And 055 will be the little bit of a right-hand turn that we make. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, I went a little past. It's okay. I need to be between 8,000 and 3,700, so I'm at 3,800. That's okay. That's okay. All right, so here is the step-down part. So this is a localizer approach. So it doesn't have a glide slope. So we're gonna have to step it down a little bit. So we're going to get to Keki again at 3,700. Oh, time to trim. Trim down. Okay. Once we get to Keki, we start down, and we need to hit these numbers here at Daku 2,900. So that's about 4.7. Well, it's not about. It's 4.7 miles from Keki. Then we're down to 2,500 at Zoxil. That's another 1.3 miles. Then we're down at 1,260 to Wigva. That's 3.7 miles. And from there we go all the way down to the minimums, which is 500. So if we don't see anything by 500, then we go on the missed approach. The missed approach is basically this. Climb to 2,600 on the Homer localizer on a southwest course of 218 out to the Plick intersection, with 16.8 miles away, and hold. All right, there you go. There'll be a quiz later. Go away menu. Man, I'm thinking about getting that flow thing. Anybody help that flow? It gives you that new menu instead of this guy up here. It gives you the circle menu. Trim down. That was what we had. I'll just give it a nudge. Alright, Homer traffic 5 miles. Homer traffic Comanche 816 is 5 to the southwest at 3,800 inbound runway 22. Homer traffic. Not sure it's quite this snowy over here. Live weather kind of shows it's pretty green this time of year, but sometimes Microsoft will put in some rather snowy conditions on parts of Alaska. I don't know if the terrain engine just has a hard time with this area, but it's a little bit weird. So again, as soon as we get over the VOR, we're about 2.8 miles. A little bit of right-hand turn. We'll chase that guy out to Keki, which is 11.2 miles away, but we have to switch over to 109.3 at that point in time, so we can get a correct DME. Oh, so close. Homer traffic, Comanche 816 is over the Homer VOR 3,800. We're going to be on the back course, runway 4 approach, Homer traffic. You have it, but you haven't done anything yet with it. Yeah. get it. Okay, we're going to go to heading mode. We're going to change our frequency now. And we need to set up final approach course of 038. Little down trim. 038 is the... Wait a second. Hold on. I screwed this up. I royally screwed this up. I was looking at the runway 22. Holy moly. Okay, so I called the wrong runway. Homer traffic, Comanche 816. We're actually on the outbound, expecting runway 22. Homer traffic. Yeah, geez, the one I was briefing was runway 22. There is a localizer for runway 4. That'd have been a lot easier, actually. All right, 218. 218 is that course heading? Yeah, I could have shot that guy basically straight in. And the winds are variable, so that would have been okay. The winds are very light either way. So there's 220, 19, 18. All right, and we're outbound to 11 miles. This will be more involved, little funner for the folks watching. I had fun shooting the LDA into Valdez. I don't know if you've ever done that, but there's an LDA to runway 6, I think it is, eastbound approach. And Valdez is has big mountains on both sides, kind of into like a little bit of a valley. So you have to come in pretty high, and then you drop down and you shoot an outbound, just like we're doing here. You turn back around, and then you can kind of step your way down, basically like we're doing, hopefully here in just a minute. But man, it's a fun approach. And then so it's a LDA, so you're not lined up with the runway, right? You're kind of approaching the end of the runway, but then you have to make a little correction to lander. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and the aircraft flew it actually very well. I don't know if it still has my track on. I'll try to show you when I get down on the ground. I didn't fly it particularly well, but you're using an NDB for part of it, and then you've got a local or a localizer there at the airfield that you can use. Ron, you're actually taking a vacation? I didn't read the second half of that, man. Holy cow, dude. You deserve one. Okay, tracking this guy. 8 miles. Again, we're 11.2 is what we're looking for. At 11.2, we're gonna teardrop into a right-hand procedure turn, basically a right-hand hold. Essentially, it's not really a procedure turn. Yeah, I think right now, if you were to look at webcams, this is more accurate for what Homer looks like. I think this is a little too snowy. I'm sure there's snow up here, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's quite as socked in as it's showing here. Ice on the lake and all that good stuff. They do get a little bit of summer up here. About a mile to go. This is going to be the last stop of today's stream. We're closing in on 3 hours. It's been a lot of fun. And enjoyed wandering around with you on a Thursday afternoon. I got to get my dogs some little something to eat here. And I got to kind of also run to the store, get a couple of things for barbecue tonight. 11.2. All right, there we go, you guys. So let's do this. Let's go northbound here. Watch my clock. About 30 seconds. Yeah, it's a little too much. I should have went 010. About 30 degree Kind of teardrop intercept here. Clock is coming down. Looking for 30 seconds there. Then we'll fly a 30-second outbound leg. There we go. Gauges are a little small for my old eyes. Either that or I just need to get myself a big old TV. See that? See the setup that Slant Alpha has?
Susie.
Man, he's got some big old monitors. Susie's here. What's going on, Kevin? Happy Thursday, dude. Okay, we're watching our second hand come all the way over here to the 3, and then we'll turn back inbound, see if we can't grab this inbound localizer. Runway 22. I was incorrectly calling runway 4. Glad there was nobody else here. They would have been really confused, and that not safe on my on my part. Definitely not safe. All right, there we go. Let's spin it around, and we're going to shoot for like an intercept here, right about there. Now, there's no approach button on this autopilot. You're going to come around, and as you get close to the localizer, you just re-engage the high track mode, and you follow it right in. Kevin, I hope things are good in your world. Thanks for stopping by, man. Right now, I think it's actually reverse sensing, because we will be, when we make this turn, we're going to be right of the localizer. So, yeah, I think that's a little, could be wrong. It's coming in, though. I tell you what, we're just going to go grab it. Let's grab it. I'll let it adjust itself, and the airfield is right. You can see the beacons right there. Oh, we're turning to go get it. I think we should turn back to the right. Yeah, see, there we go. We're kind of a little bit far away. All right, let's go back to heading mode here and make sure that I've got the right frequency in. 109.3, yep, 109.3 and a 218 course. Yes. Wondering if we're just, oh, you know, we may just be a little too far away. I'm going to turn inbound to the airport and just see. Just got back from dance lessons, baby. Hey, there you go. Cut a rug. We'll probably just shoot this bad boy visually. Currently, it's showing that we're a little bit right of course, which I don't know that I disagree with. I think the airport is right here. Homer's a cool airport, by the way. They've got the regular paved runway, and then right next to it on the right, they've got this water runway, this water aerodrome. So, Jeffrey, you're getting ready to monitor your, like, you've got this big production, this big Broadway style musical that you do every year, right? Oh, there's the runway. Oh wow, that's really not good. All right, autopilot's coming off. We're gonna hand fly this baby. Homer traffic, Comanche 816 is inbound runway 22, 10-mile final. Homer. Okay, so at 8.2, I need to be down Idaku, down at 2,900. A little fast as well, so I'm going to pull back the power. And I have no idea why this is like reverse sensing like it is. I don't know. Strange. Go back to my distance here. 8.2. I need to be on 2,900. I'm going to be just a little bit high, it looks like. Let's go to the approach checklist. All right, autopilot's off. Fuel pump's coming back on. Fuel selectors are on the mains. We've got good fuel yet. Everything else, all my gauges are Happy carb heat is going to stay on for now. I'm looking for an airspeed of about 120. I'm just a little bit fast right now. If I had to, I could put my gear down, and that would slow me down just a little bit. Not a musical, just a comedic play. Okay, I couldn't quite remember, but I know you're involved in that. That's pretty cool, dude. Prop lever needs to come full forward, as does the carb. I'm sorry, the mixture. Okay, we're definitely, we need to be Zoxel, we need to be 2,500, so we're about 700 feet too high, guys. Got good visual with the runway, though. We still need to come to the right ever so slightly. Wants me to put my gear down when you put the power too low. So Zoxel 2,500 is where you're really trying to get serious about the approach. Then Wigba at 3.2, you need to be down at 1,260. Minimums are 500. If we go missed, again, we're up to 2,600. We fly basically runway heading up to 2,600. And what I'll probably do if we go missed, I'll probably fly out 2,600, and then we'll set up for the VOR back runway 4, which is what we're telling everybody we were doing when we were really looking at runway 22. So yeah, oops, not good. Oh, I bet I know why this is reverse sensing. It's reverse sensing because it's coming off of it's runway 4's localizer. That makes sense. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Yes. So it's back sensing because we're coming in the opposite way. There's a localizer at Portland that gets me all the time. Does the same thing. Yeah. So as we get moving to the right, it draws that needle in. Okay. All right. Homer traffic, Comanche 816, 3-mile final, runway 22, Homer. All right. Okay, gear down. We are, again, 120 on the approach. We're a little fast. We're looking to ref it out somewhere in the 85 to 90 range. Okay, there's flaps range. We'll put the first notch out. All right. Gas is on, undercarriage is down and indicating mixture prop full forward, and switches, everything is still on. Fuel pump is on. Dumps check is complete. I have no idea what the altimeter is. Thanks, Rob. It's a, when you don't screw up the engine, like, it's really meant to be a simple plane. And but it's fun. You can really cover some ground too, which is what I like. It was fun to buzz around all these different spots. Got really fast. I need to be 100 over the numbers, or 100 over the fence, and I am going to be fast and long here, which is okay because we're down the turnoff is clear down there at the far end of the runway. I'm not going to hit the 1,000-footers here, guys. I apologize. On the other side of the trees, there is where that water runway is. All right, down we go. Let's just hold it off. Hold it off. Hold it. Oh, don't overflared that. Sorry, I'm gonna plunk down. Yep, dang it. I bubbled it there, so that was a hard touchdown. All right. Well, we managed to be fairly well on the center line. At least that's a good thing. Pull my flaps up, and we'll just roll it on down here. Uh-oh. Online services are unreachable. Interesting. There we go. We've had some internet issues in our neck of the woods this summer. There's been some weird things going on. I don't know what's up. Okay. Yeah, and this is clearly default Homer, Alaska. I bet there's probably some cool scenery out for this area. There is some really cool scenery for Homer and X-Plane. Homer and Seward and Kenai, they're all made by that same guy. Yeah, see, that wasn't probably bad. I didn't intend to be long like that, but it probably wasn't the worst thing because it's a long freaking taxi. This is a big runway. Oh yeah, this is just going to be dirt here. Wow. This is paved. Should be paved. Oh well, it's okay. And this is not a residential district. This is actually the ramp area, but yeah, so be it. So I'm curious. We'll get out. We'll do a little bit of a do a little bit of a check of the engine. We'll see like if we did any damage, what the wear and tear is, check the oil status, all that good stuff. Homer traffic, Comanche 816 is clear of runway 22, Homer. And again, this is a part of the aircraft that I am still learning, but that's okay. The parking brake is set. We'll keep the RPMs up at 1,000 for right now. And Malcolm, hey, you won it in a giveaway too. Nice, very nice. It is a great aircraft, no question about it. Iron Condor has been doing crosswind landings, and there's no ground physics or something. He said even with the crosswind doesn't act right. The limit of MSFS. Yeah, could be. Iron Spotty ZA, hello, welcome. Thanks for the follow. All right, let's get this thing shut down here, and we'll be good to go. So fuel pump, back to all this stuff here. Fuel pump lights can all come off. Heat can come off. We're going to come up here. We're going to make sure that the trim, oh, pretty neutral. That's good. That's good. We will turn the avionics master off and bring the throttle back to idle. Make sure to cut off. Good. Prop lever back here. And mags can come off. Master switch can come off as well. And the fuel selectors to off. There we go. Here the gyros winding down. That's awesome. All right, let's come up here. Let's see. Let's see how we did. Now, I'm trying to remember, how do we do this? How do you... Because I had some plugs and some magneto issues. See, I've got like a little bit, it shows a little bit of icing right there. But I don't know how to, like the old system, you could do like compression test and all that stuff, but I'm not like, nothing's happening here. So interesting. All right, engine, what about this? Maybe I do it here. Cylinder, oh, it just kind of tells you about Just tells you about each part, I guess. Alternator. Okay, how do I know though if it's... How do I know if it's good, bad, or otherwise? I'm gonna have to look at this, guys. I'm sorry, I don't remember the. Like I say, the old AccuSim, and it's been a long time. But you could actually just go in and click, and like it would do a compression test on your, you know, on each one of these, and you could like look at the color of the oil and the how clean the air filter was. Analyzers. Okay, there's an analyzer. Wait, yeah, well that's where I was, but I don't see how to. I don't see anything to click on. Close that. Wait, no here. Oh, you're gonna get some rudder pedals. Oh, dude, Malcolm, that is a game changer. You are gonna absolutely love that. That makes the sim a whole different experience. All right, I'm not going to mess around with this too much. Yeah, right. Where's Eric when I need him? Let's go to the walk around. Let's finish things up here, and call it good. So this is, I still don't have control locks on, so that's going to keep wobbling. Not worried about that. Not worried about that. I want to get the tie downs on. There's the first one. There's the chocks. There is the beautiful propellers. Chocks on the left, tie down on the left, and the tail. Tail tie down right there. There we go. Everything else looks copacetic. Let's unload the bags, I guess. We do need to do that. Love how every one of those things has a different sound. That's just awesome. It's such a good job with the sounds in this plane. Okay, well, that's us. Oh, you know what? One thing I can do is this before I get too crazy. Let's go and into fuel and payload. Let's just make sure that we have. Yeah, we could top off our fuel here. And I'm just going to leave 3 gallons there. And then I want to... oh, we have 11.8 out of 12 quarts. It's 98%, and we're good to go. Like, I don't know, like... Seems like there's a color coding in here, too. So I will study that. And that will hopefully be something I can do correctly once I fire this bad boy up again. But there it is, guys. There it is. If you don't have it yet and you have the ability to grab it and you like general aviation flight, I think it's worth it. But you know, it's $50, and so I get it. It's an investment for sure. So but definitely I think it is worth the money. And if you like this type of aviation, you know, it's worth saving up for. All right, let's head to the FBO. We'll close up shop.
Thanks for watching my papa.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for watching. A lot of thank yous to the Iron Spotty. Thanks for the follow. Nice to meet you. Replica Gaming as well. Thank you very, very much. And Lewis Bloom came in. He snuck in, that dirty dog. Lewis, if you watch this back later on, thanks. Congratulations. An awesome, awesome aircraft. And then Mike Stein, thank you very, very much for that gift sub to our friend Beaver524 Echo Alpha, better known as Eric. And holy guacamole, man. That guy, Eric, was a wealth of resources today. There's no doubt about that. That guy knows this aircraft inside and out. Hey, you're welcome, Iron Spotty. Yeah, man. You are welcome. You are welcome. So let's see. You really feel like you're flying a 60s aircraft? Yeah, it's got some history to it. It's got some history to it. There's no doubt about it. I want to also thank Steve PHL for flying along, and there was somebody else that was flying along, and I don't remember who it was. I'm so sorry. If you flew along with me. I know you had some trouble getting out of getting out of our first airstrip. Thank you guys, and if you also flew along and I just didn't hear you, thank you. And then everybody who was here, obviously in the chat, appreciate you guys so very, very much. we are going to, let's see, we're going to go over and let's go hang out with Peter Mooney a little bit here, guys. Peter Mooney is fairly new to streaming, but not new to aviation, and really another guy. Talk about another guy with a tremendous amount of knowledge regarding aviation, and actually just like everything. Like, the dude is super smart and entertaining, funny, and really been a great supporter of this channel. So I do appreciate if you go over there, even if it's just for a few minutes. My next stream is not scheduled till next Tuesday, but I tell you what, I'm going to try to do this again tomorrow. So maybe look for the white dot. I'll ping you. Well, I won't ping you, but I'll white dot you. And we'll go find someplace else to fly in, something else, and have some fun hanging out on a Friday afternoon. All right, that's it for me, guys. Cannot wait to fly with you again tomorrow. Take care. Have a good rest of your Thursday. And yeah, we'll see you over on Peter Mooney's stream. God bless.